Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've seen a lot of budget amps over the years that cut corners in ways that really stand out: thin metal chassis, flimsy knobs, and power supplies that sound like they're about to give up after a few months. But then there's this Marantz Model 30 sitting on my desk right now, and honestly, it feels like stepping into a different league without having to remortgage the house. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What really surprised me first was how solid it feels. The chassis is thick, the volume knob has real heft, and the whole thing just looks like it's built to last. I've moved this thing around a few times now, and it's still sitting perfectly level with no wobble at all. That's not something you get with a lot of the cheaper options out there, where the case bends if you look at it wrong. Sound quality is where this amp truly shines. I've got a pair of Spender D1s hooked up to it, and the way it handles mid-range is just gorgeous. Vocals come through with this natural warmth that makes me feel like the singer is right in the room. I tried a few tracks I know inside out, like Skinny Love by Bon Iver, and the way the amp lets the guitar strings ring out without harshness is really special. It's not overly bright or sterile like some modern amps can be. Instead, it adds a little musicality to the sound that's hard to describe until you hear it for yourself. Power-wise, the Model 30 doesn't try to be a monster, but it doesn't need to be. It delivers 30 watts per channel into 8 ohms, which is plenty for a decent bookshelf setup or even a small room. I've had it cranked up to background party levels with no signs of strain, and the bass response stays tight and controlled. If you're using it with efficient speakers, you'll get a surprising amount of volume without the amp sounding like it's working too hard. One thing I appreciate is how quiet it stays. I've used amps before where you can hear a faint buzz or hiss even when nothing's playing, but this one is dead silent. That makes a big difference when you're listening at low volumes late at night or trying to hear subtle details in quiet passages. The front panel is simple but well thought out. You've got a nice big volume knob, a headphone jack that actually sounds good, and a single pair of RCA inputs. There's no Bluetooth or fancy streaming here, which I actually like because it keeps the signal path clean and analog. If you're the type who likes to keep things minimal and just listen to vinyl or a dedicated DAC, this amp fits right in. I also like that it runs cool. Even after hours of use, the top and sides stay barely warm to the touch. That tells me the power supply is well designed and not working overtime, which is a good sign for long-term reliability. Now, it's not perfect. The lack of built-in streaming or phono stage means you'll need extra gear if you want to play records or stream wirelessly, which adds to the overall cost. And while 30 watts is enough for most people, if you've got a large room or inefficient speakers, you might find yourself wanting a bit more headroom. Overall though, the Marantz Model 30 feels like a proper piece of audio gear that respects your music. It's not trying to do everything under the sun, it just does a few things really well. If you're looking for an amp that sounds natural, feels premium, and won't break the bank, this one's worth a serious listen. You'll find the link below if you want to take a closer look. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Marantz Model 30 Black sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like channels and frequency response actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like Marantz Model 30 Black usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.